Have you been able to talk to anyone, any one of those 20, at times to be able to gain some kind of inspirational wisdom that you talked about?
Yeah.
Who's been helpful?
My two key peers are really Bono and Michael Stipe, and from REM. And well, Michael's obviously retired, but he was very sweet. They've both been very, very kind to me from the beginning, which I can't tell you how special that is.
What's one of the best bits of advice you've been given?
By them?
Yeah. Well, in fact, you know what? Let's blow it open. By anybody. What do you recall as being?
Well, the first thing is that after our first album, Bono's advice was respect the chemistry between you, and if you make an album as down tempo as your first one, I think I might fall asleep. so maybe pick it up a bit for the second one. And Michael,
good advice.
The first time he took me aside I was messing around with the melody of a song called The Scientist in concert, and he said, you can do that, but people have come a long way to hear the song they like, and maybe just sing it. And so that's sort of,
maybe don't go like rock and honkies, maybe just
that's why I think we're very much in the school of, you know what, this is how it became popular, so this is how we'll play it for the most part.
Yeah. And
I feel comfortable about that. But there's countless times when I've just been like, is this normal? You know.
Are you capable to give advice to others now? Say someone from a band who was, say one of One Direction came up to you and said, you know, I'm really struggling with all this. It's really difficult for me, and we've established that you have a genuine fondness for them. Right. Would you feel comfortable sitting down and talking to one of them and giving them some advice on what you've learned?
Harry has come to a couple of our shows, and he's a sweet guy. See, I think I probably said the same thing about chemistry. I can't really remember. I was too enamoured with his haircut.
It's quite a haircut.
I was like this. I'm pretty sure I was a straight guy before. Getting sort of
it's
hot
so curly, and it's just unbelievable. It smells so good. It's just so shiny.
What's
it's like
going
full
on?
of body. Like, what do you use? Can I touch it? Shampoo. Like, just tell me, what's your secret? So, throughout this record, over 9 songs, we get an idea of what you've learned and are still learning, and what of the letting go and of the embracing.
Well, it's like a new approach to life.
Yeah.
Because I needed to change it.
You said earlier on that you wanted a song at the end to be an unconditional message of love.
Right.
A dedication of complete unconditional love. This song, Oh, is... You said I've been very kind. This is just a stunning record.
Thanks, man.
And lyrically, you've just nailed it.
Thank you.
Flock of birds hovering above, just a flock of birds.
When was the last time you listened to this?
It's how you think of love. And
it's a little tricky for me to listen to as well.
Well, you've put yourself on the line. You've made that record. You know.
I'm very proud of that message, though, because I don't want to get too personal because of the media stuff being as it is. But that's just to me saying, you're amazing. You've got to be amazing, and I need to improve a bit.
It's hard for me to listen. It's hard for anybody to listen. You killed me with this record.
Yeah.
You know.
Thanks, man. But let me talk about the sneaker line I'm working on.
Well, you are in LA. They offer.
After this bit, there's a secret track.
I know. I want to talk about that.
Okay.
3 or 4 minutes on, and we go back to where we started again with this lovely ambient piece that Dan created, and a vocal at the end. Doesn't sound like you.
No, that's me and Apple, my daughter.
Yes.
Yeah, and her friend Mabel.
Can you just talk us through the recording of them? How was it?
Okay, this is very funny. And my son Moses is on this other track that we're doing for a while. It is with Target. You know, we did some extra tracks for the store Target because they're one of the only places that sell CDs in the world. So we're like, sure,
yeah,
great. But those tracks will become available, you know, in about 6 months, and he's on the reprise of the other one. And the reason they're on there is because it means so much to me, but also because when they come in the studio, they bring such a funny energy, and they're so used to it that I'm like, oh, it just makes me laugh. That the day we did,
well, they're like, get my headphones up a little bit on the left.
Well, I'm not kidding. So really the first part of O is called Fly On, and the second part is called O, but we're done with the double titling. And so you know, I was like, this is a very important message for me at the end of the record. Like, don't ever let go. It's what my dad used to say to me: never give up. And it's what hopefully I'm saying to myself or to anyone is like, you know, don't. For example, we've had some friends recently who've killed themselves or gone really down the wrong thing only because of not having the right people around them, which is so sad. And so for me, like, having my baby essentially singing that is very powerful to me. So it's quite a selfish inclusion. The rest of the record is meant for everybody else, but that little bit is for me because that's what we'll have at the beginning of our show, and it's like, it gets me when I hear it. I'm like, oh yeah, life's great.
She's a professional in the studio. One take?
I'm sorry, yes.
One take?
In the studio. So you wanted the story. So she was with her friend Mabel. You know, they flit in and out in the studio because there's a room upstairs with some, you know, toys and stuff, which they kind of prefer. But I said, they were listening. She said, "Oh, what's this, Dad? I like this." And I said, "Oh, it's called Oh. Do you want to? What if we put a mic up? Will you and Mabel maybe sing it?" Sure. And no big deal at all. They don't. I think because they're so used to pop stars being around the house or whatever.
Singing is just.
It doesn't. They don't understand really that Jay-Z is not just a person. They just think he's a person, and he's really good at rapping.
Yeah. Well, and they're right.
And they are right. Or whoever it is, you know. And so the studio for them is the same thing. They've grown up every day. Like, they don't.
It's
so it's just fun.
It's Uncle Jay.
So it's just fun. So we put an SM58, and I said, can you just sing this with me? And we all sang it together, and then they got bored and left.
So you only get one take. They're like Frank Sinatra.
They did 2 takes.
They did 2 takes.
This is my favourite piece of music we've ever made.
Let's turn it up then.
And then it has a sound on the end by Madion.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. It's a big...
You just hired him to do that one?
That.
That's it?
Yep.
Did you ask him for that? Can you just give me a...
We did a day with Madion. He's amazing.
Yeah, brilliant.
On a track that it was too up tempo for this. And then at the end we were working on Always in My Head, actually. And he said, "Oh, I've got a sound that would end that really nicely."
He's clever, isn't he? Just wanted that one feature.
And I was like, that's brilliant.
They're hard to make those.
We had some amazing little cameos. Like there's a bass drum on a song called True Love that Timbaland did, and then there's a sound on. These
are all from sessions that you've done with them and gone, well,
yeah,
we'll just take that.
Occasionally just have like a day playing with someone. And that's what I'm saying, it's like we're so privileged we get to
that's fun.
Mess around with all these people. And yeah.
Who else? Anyone else we've missed on the record that shows up? Paul
I think
McCartney
a little
eating a
bit
carrot,
of
or
Mike Dean, who works with Kanye a lot.
yeah.
John Hopkins, who we've done lots of stuff with now. I don't think there's anybody else.
I saw today that you guys have announced you're going to do 6 shows.
Yeah, that's our tour. Yeah.
By the way, these are called the intimate shows at like the Royal Albert Hall.
Well, that's the biggest.
That's the biggest, yeah. And it's amazing, I think, that you've made a record that will suit that environment. You know, that it's not going to feel like you've made this huge, all-encompassing, massive statement of a sonic statement of a record in terms of and you're like, oh, we just want to play small clubs. It actually makes sense. Is that kind of it? As far as touring goes, what's your thoughts about touring?
For the time being.
Yeah.
For the time being.
Is that a decision based on the well-being of the individuals in the band, or on the themes of the record and how you feel about replaying
I think it just, to me, it would seem like the wrong thing to try and oversell this album in a big place. Some of these songs will fit really well in there one day, but at the moment we just want to be a little bit self-indulgent and kind of play it as a piece with some other ones around it, but in a smaller. The Albert Hall is big. I'm
joking. It's going to be
you're
amazing.
Right. It's massive, but
it's not Emirates Stadium.
No, but it is big. But that's the biggest one, and we chose that because we can play it in the round.
Right.
And so yeah, that for the moment that'll be it.
Do you think, and this might be one of the toughest questions I've asked you, I hope you don't mind, do you think
you can ask me anything, man?
Do you think you'll ever be able to play a song like "Oh" live?
Yeah.
You do?
We did already.
You've done that song already?
Yeah, we did. This is what we really wanted to do, I'll tell you the truth, is we wanted to do this 360 tour. Not quite as big as U2's, but we, with our friend Misty, in fact Phil and Misty made this theatre. We built a theatre inside a sound stage, like a film stage, where they shot The Wizard of Oz actually. And it was this circular thing with a roof that goes over the top, like a mini Albert Hall, all screens. And then we play in the middle, and then about 900 people sit around, and then there's like stars hanging up, and then these people called Bison, these two great guys, helped us make all this beautiful content. And so we made this immersive concert, and we wanted to tour that, but it costs $4 million every time you want to build it, so we couldn't tour it. So instead we made a film of it, and we've done that. We filmed that. So we did 4 shows.
So it cost $4 million to make this film?
It cost about $4 million, yeah.
Wow.
But we had sponsorship and
to make it easier, and
to make it work, and that's just the truth. So we would like to have toured it, but we can't afford it.
So what next?
Well, I feel just very grateful for every day on Earth. I really do. So I don't know what's next.
Do you feel better now you've made this record?
I just feel grateful to be alive. I don't. I'm between you and me and all the people who listen to this. Between all of us, I'll say that I'm very, very proud of it. And I'm so proud of our gang. And I feel so grateful for that brotherhood. And I'm grateful for all the people around us, our families, and basically I'm doing an Oscar speech, but a real one. So am I happy that it's done? Yes, because it's exactly what we wanted to do, which has never happened. It did happen on Rush of Blood to the Head. That was exactly what we wanted to do. And every other time we got to about 80 or 90%, except on X and Y, where we got to about 65 of what we were really aiming for. I
love the record. I've really enjoyed this,
Really?
Yeah.
Thanks, man. I know I didn't go on a rant, but
what would be good is if you just pretended to walk out now, storm out. I
have to say the reason I wanted to do this is because I loved the Kanye interview.
Me too.
Because it's cool. Because that guy is amazing.
Oh,
and I think he's misunderstood by the people who only look on the surface. So I understand what he's talking about.
Well, he's honest.
He's honest. And I understand what he means. My English teacher once said to me in a school report, he said, your brain is like a bran tub, which is a thing that used to be in Victorian fairs, where you'd have a big barrel, they'd fill it with bran and put like a clementine or an apple, like some nice things in there, and you had like 20 seconds to put your hand in and rummage around, and you might find something or you might not. And that's what my English teacher said. My brain was like basically a load of crap with some gems in it. And I feel like if you can get past Kanye's brand, that guy's got more gems than anybody. The end.
Thanks, man.
Alright, is that it?